This morning, Governor Udom Emmanuel performs groundbreaking for construction of low-energy bulb factory. Akwa Ibom Police Command, in partnership with private developer, embarks on construction of housing estate. United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon expected in Nigeria today. Details in just a moment. Good morning and thanks for joining us. My name is Augusta Essien. In pursuit of his commitment to the industrialization of the state, Governor Udom has performed groundbreaking for the construction of a lead factory in Ikot-Ebonyi to local government area. Government House Bureau Chief Colonel Edemefrete reports that the event brought great joy to the community, which was once known for hosting the quality ceramics industry. The report is presented in our studios. Performing the groundbreaking, Governor Udom Emmanuel said he has, since assumption of office, with great zeal, pursued the attainment of the central thrust of his administration, which is the industrialization of the state. He assured that he will not relent until he accomplishes that, which will make the people comfortable. Mr. Udom Emmanuel, who observed that the establishment of the lead factory in the state will further boost power supply, which he noted plays a key role in industrialization, expressed optimism that the state will enjoy the steady power supply in the next 18 months. Thanking the management of Blue Marine Energy Resources on its decision to establish its presence in the state, Mr. Udom Emmanuel said he was impressed by the company's corporate profile, praying that such would replicate itself here. The governor also thanked Afaubong, Ikot-Ebom and Ikot-Ekwere communities, as well as the entire Itam clan for their cooperation, and urged them to record the Blue Marine Company same cooperation.
I gave a marching order to my aides in the power sector to ensure that we have improved electricity supply. We have since seen an increased and steady supply of electricity to our state, and it is our hope and desire to provide a 24/7 steady electricity supply in the next 18 months. And partnering with you will help speed up drive towards achieving that goal. That's why we are partnering on this lead factory today. I'm impressed by the corporate profile of this Blue Marine Assets Holding and the range of services you have rendered over the years. I'm sure you replicate same here in Akwa Ibom State.
The Commissioner for Investment, Commerce and Industry, Barrister Emmanuel Inoidem, said the establishment of the lead industry follows an agreement signed by Governor Udom Emmanuel with a Romanian-based company in July this year in London. Barrister Inoidem said the factory is situated on 2.5 hectares of land at the Itam Industrial Estate will provide employment for 1,000 Akwa Ibom indigenes.
This company is also going to massively, for the first time in Nigeria, deploy the solar panels as an alternative means of power for the factory. The most important advantage of having a lead factory is to help us as a state and as a nation fight the deficiency we have in the power sector, because the low energy bulbs that are going to be produced by this company is going to reduce consumption rates of electricity by 80%.
The managing director of Blue Marine Asset Holdings Limited, Mr. Dimitrov Sefakos, said the company, with its headquarters in Romania, is pleased to partner the state. Mr. Sefakos said his company will take $10 million to complete the construction and will employ not less than 1,000 indigenes of the state. The company, he said, will produce energy-saving bulbs and also has the interest in real estate and furniture manufacturing.
It is not our organization that achieved something extraordinary here. It is His Excellency the Governor and his team that made this happen. From now on, it is in our hands to continue the investment, to make this factory functional. We intend, as a first stage, to provide work for approximately 150 positions directly and approximately 1,000 indirectly.
The clan head of Itam, Chief Donald Udoh, thanked the governor for choosing the community to site the company. Chief Udoh, who spoke on behalf of the community, pledged the cooperation of the people with the company to enable them succeed.
This community will totally loyal to him and his own government. That any company that comes in here in Itam, we assure him that we will protect that company to grow as we have said today.
Plans by the Nigeria Police to provide houses for its officers is beginning to yield fruits with the groundbreaking for the first phase of a police housing estate in Akwa Ibom State. Governor Domi Manuel was represented by his deputy, Mr. Moses Ekpo. Patience John tells us more.
The 2,000 housing unit satellite town estate to be sited in Obiokwansip, the local government area facilitated by the Nigeria Police, is aimed at providing affordable houses to officers of the force. The governor congratulated the State Police Command for partnering the state government in the housing sector. This, he hoped, will ameliorate the challenges of owning houses by officers. He pledged the support of the state government towards such developmental strides and thanked Obiokwa community for donating the parcel of land for the project.
I want, on behalf of my principal, the executive governor of Akwa Ibom State, Deacon Udom Emmanuel, to congratulate the police command, its former leadership, and the present leadership of that command for this marvelous idea. I want to thank them for being partners in progress with our government in our quest to take development to all the nook and corners of Akwa Ibom State.
The police officer in charge of housing in the state, Deputy Superintendent Levinus Nwenyim, said the police housing scheme is run in partnership with an independent developer to eschew bureaucratic bottlenecks and promote effective delivery. He thanked the Nigeria Police Force for having the interests of its officers at heart and expressed the hope that the scheme will have positive effects on officers of the force.
As a result of the escalating cost implications of acquiring or developing personal living accommodations, the increasing global demand for decent and affordable housing in the face of shaken resources, not to mention the growing significance of housing to the economic prosperity of a family unit or household. Every police officer, everywhere, every time is entitled to own a house anywhere in Nigeria.
Earlier, the Chief Executive Officer of Ecomo Associates Limited, developers of the estate, Mr. Ikwi Eni, appreciated the State Command for accepting to work with his company. He said already his company has partnership with Kaduna and Zambra state government for the same purpose, and thanked the immediate past Commissioner of Police in the state, Mr. Gabriel Achong, for his effort in encouraging the establishment of the housing estate, naming the estate Gabriel Achong Estate. A goodwill message was received from Kaimaiban Obiokwa at the occasion. Patience John reporting.
The State Agency for the Control of AIDS, AXICA, and other related partners has been asked to carry out fresh survey to update data on the prevalence rate of HIV in the state. The Commissioner for Economic Development, Dr. Emmanuel Onwodwekat, stated this when a delegation from AXICA, led by the Resource Mobilization Lead Consultant for HFG and USAID, paid him a courtesy visit. The story is presented in our studios. The commissioner said with the level of sensitization and awareness carried out across the state for the last 5 years, a serious decline in the prevalence rate in Akwa Ibom is expected, adding that the state can no longer rely on survey results carried out since 2010 for any meaningful policy. He noted the contributions of donor agencies, stating that with their intended withdrawal of support and funding, it was time for Nigeria to rise and take charge of her destiny. The commissioner urged AXECA to make proposal for HIV funding as well as explore other sources of funding. This, he said, was to help breach the gap expected as donor partners prepared to withdraw their support.
And we can explore such, we are very positive, positively spirited people and
exactly. So those are
we can explore that possibility of raising funds. In fact, the organization can explore that possibility. We can collaborate with you and raise funds parallel, depending on the government.
Exactly.
And I'm sure there are so many people that will want to contribute to.
Even your people in diaspora, is well articulated.
The resource mobilization lead consultant of HFG and USAID, Dr. Ali Onoja, said they were in the state to reawaken the consciousness of the state government to the reality that donor agencies would be withdrawing their support from September 2016. Dr. Onoja disclosed that 19,000 indigents that are currently on HIV treatment supported by America may be facing death sentence if nothing was done to continue their treatment, which he said was for life. He said his organization was ready to work with the state government to avoid unnecessary loss of life and to close gaps to avoid public health crises. Dr. Onoja noted that statistics show that Akwa Ibom State has potential and capacity to help, adding that some states have already passed the legislations to deduct funds for funding of the treatment of HIV. He notified the commissioner of the proposed 3-day fund mobilization workshop coming up later in the month. A workshop, he said, would address the transition and handover program.
Part of our deliverable and expectation is to see an increased commitment, local commitment into this current budget, because the total funding may dry up by September next year. And if the commitment is not done now, it will be too late, because the ART program is so complicated that it's not something under emergency.
Also speaking, the Prevention Community Mobilization Officer, AXECA, Mr. Nsebong Bassi, said it was disheartening that the prevalence of HIV was still high and called for behavioral change among married couples, whom he said were now among drivers of the infection in the state. The policy thrust of the agency, he said, was to coordinate all intention programs in Akwa Ibom State to access available intervention, as most of the interventions in the state were donor-driven. It's news at dawn on AKBC 45. Just a quick reminder that Governor Udomi Manuel has performed groundbreaking for the construction of a lead industry in Ikot-Ibom to local government area. Our reporter says the event brought great joy to the community known for hosting the quality ceramic industry. In another development, the groundbreaking for the first phase of the police housing estate in the state has been performed by the state deputy governor, Mr. Moses Ipo. Break. United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is expected in Nigeria today. Stay with us.
We are a threatened generation, stalked in the consciousness of militarization. Failure to debrief our citizens leads to impunity on the part of leadership. The greatest office is neither that of the executive nor the legislature, but the citizens. Democracy returns power to the people. State of the nation. updating your political consciousness for political relevance and proper integration.
Welcome back. Elections have been concluded for academic programs in the State College of Education, FANSET, to be managed by the University of Uyo. The institution is to also administer examinations and award the Bachelor of Education degree to students. The provost of the college, Dr. Patrick Uko, disclosed this while briefing the 2016 Budget Estimates Hearing Committee in Uyo. AIN Paul reports.
Dr. Uko, who said the college is now affiliated to the University of Uyo, noted that the degree program will commence after accreditation of programs by the National Universities Commission. Dr. Patrick Uko took time to brief the committee on activities that led to the approval of the college as a degree awarding institution. The provost said the management of the college has started talks on the visit by the National Universities Commission and is optimistic that the visit will be fruitful. Dr. Oko said 8 courses, including sciences, have been set aside, and that as soon as the institution has the National Universities Commission's approval, it will reach out to JAMB for the next action, which is admissions. He, however, appealed to the state government to approve the institution's estimate to be able to put the needed infrastructure in place.
After a successful affiliation, we now get to the National University Commission, and of course we started talking. Who will now come for a resource visit? Every infrastructure is on ground. Then we get started off.
The committee, through the Permanent Secretary Budget Office, Pastor Nicholas Ekarika, expressed appreciation to the management of the college for strides recorded, promising that the estimate will be looked into. Other ministries and agencies that appeared before the committee to defend the estimate were Ministry of Justice, Bureau of Labor, Productivity and Manpower Planning, Law Reforms Commission, Judiciary Service Commission, Airport Development Company Limited, Ministry of Rural Development, as well as the Judiciary. Issues such as productivity award, laws of the state, judicial division, employment, funding, and measures to actualize the industrial era in 2016 budget were discussed.
The government is doing everything to see that the system works, and one of those steps is to make sure that the estimates for the state comes out the way that it should.
Well, it's a capital-intensive investment, so but hopefully we will get there.
The 2016 budget is likely to be more proactive in industrialization.
Depends of the 2016 coming up as a blessing and something that will be of the great interest to Akwa Ibom State.
The Permanent Secretary State Budget Office, Pastor Nicholas Ekarika, commended the attitude of those who appeared to defend the estimates. On ways to generate revenue of the 2016 budget, Pastor Nicholas Ekarika said,
with the new hope and the new leadership in place, I know for sure that every ministry, every department, every agency will be on toes to make sure that if not 100%, at least 80 to 90% will be achieved.
Yagino Paul reporting.
President Muhammadu Buhari will be attending a meeting of the Commonwealth Enterprise Investment Council as well as the Commonwealth Heads of Government in Malta in November. And the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is expected in Nigeria for a 2-day visit beginning today. These and more in a national and international segment with Mercy Akera.
President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to lead the Nigerian delegation to the first forum of Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, which will be held alongside meeting Commonwealth Heads in Malta in November. The Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council is expected offer opportunities for Commonwealth members to exchange and businesses. The United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, is on a 2-day visit that will commence on August 2015. Mr. Ban Ki-moon's visit will focus to a new Nigeria and the role of national governments. He will hold a meeting with some stakeholders and further meet with the government officials with the theme democracy, sustainable development and counter-violent extremism. The issue of climate change is yet another focus of the UN chief's visit. Muhammadu Buhari is in honor of the UN Secretary General. The Nigeria warned that recruitment into the Nigerian force is yet to begin, hence Nigerians should beware of fraudsters. Had recently promised the recruitment of 10,000 police officers to enhance the fight against crime and insecurity in the country. The modalities for the recruitment are being worked out with the Police Service Commission and will be announced in due course. The West African Examinations Council, WAEC, has said it will not adopt the use of computer-based test mode for its examinations. The absence of computers, lack of electricity and internet connectivity in many schools in Nigeria have been enumerated by the WAEC as some of the reasons the computer-based examinations will not be adopted by the body in the nearest future. In the foreign scene, the United States has confirmed the death of the second-in-command of Islamic State militants, Haji Mutaz, who was killed in a U.S. Army airstrike in Iraq. According to the White House, the dead leader was in charge of operations in Iraq, and his influence spanned ISIL's finance, media operations, and logistics.
Thank you, Mercy. You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging onto akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45UO or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. And now the recap. For the second time in 1 week, Governor Udomi Manuel has performed groundbreaking for 2 commercial concerns in the state. The first was for a retail conglomerate, ShopRite, while the latest is a low-energy serving bulb industry sited in Ikoribomitam in Itu local government area. Also, the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is expected in Nigeria today. That's a package. The next news is at 8 p.m. tonight. Do join us then.